The ACC on ESPN. It's a key matchup in the conference as January winds down, and as incredible as Duke has been over the decades at Cameron, they've actually dropped 2 games at home this season. That's a bit of a headline. Now the first one,
lineup for Duke, there's 6 different starting lineup this season.
And Clemson wins the opening tip as we are underway. They have not won at Cameron Indoor in their last 20 tries. So that's how futile it's been. Will today be a different story in a couple of hours? Chase Hunter lines up the first one. McCann in this building, all-time 955 wins, just 173 losses. On the move, swooping in, McCann will drop in the first 2. Nice move by the freshman. And we're starting line for Clemson. Hall getting 20 a game. He's going to need a big one. So will Joe Girard. Shefflin has been outstanding on the glass, and Clemson on the board. Kane on the outside comes in, averaging 12 points a game. Duke has 5 guys averaging double figures. Pass was tipped. Mitchell got it back and lay it up and go to the line. Mark Mitchell, a couple of games, he worked for 34 minutes against.
Well, performance against Louisville, and the second time he's done that in the last 3 games that he's.
On the pass for Leposki will lay it in as he went strong to the 10. Have been a very solid offensive team all season long, averaging 81 points a game. They shoot it well. Very nice fall away there for 2.
And that's the guy they have to.
Rebounded away by Shefflin. Has been a rebounding monster.
Unreal. And John Shire talked about what he does, not only on the defensive board, but also in the offensive glass.
He finds the open man, and Hunter drains it out there.
And that's a differentiator for both these guys. When you look at he and PJ Hall, both are capable of knocking down the 3-ball. PJ
on the 10, it won't drop for him. Foster for McCain, the freshman, who had a standout game against Pitt in that loss that we talked about. Here's Mitchell open. Yes, sir. He'll drain a triple.
And Mark play.
Hunter's going to go hard. He'll draw the foul. Mitchell came to try and defend.
He got to Louisville with a knee injury, and then he plays against Louisville. And he's demonstrated, he said it was a miracle for him to come back. And
the attack, Duke making 48% of their shots. And look at the veteran group for the Tigers, so they ought to be able to come in here and play with composure.
And I don't believe any of them have a win in this building, so that's also going to be some extra motivation.
Against Louisville. And for the sophomore, that's a new career high. Mitchell taking the baseline. Almost hit it. He'll be headed to the line.
There's an example of that decisive
double that he had against Louisville in that game.
15 rebounds in that game. They dominated the game.
Foster coming on to the bench for a moment. With Girard back in, 42% at that 3-point line. Dylan Hunter. Godfrey lets fly, and he swishes. It's 46%. Going to drive and test that ankle. Slam right back at him by Clark. In transition, Hunter, and that'll drop.
And for those that don't recognize, we got a technical foul.
Technical on Clemson.
Is that going to be Jack? Actually have a script to follow.
So after a ticky-tack technical, it'll be Roach at the line on the other end. And Duke has beaten Clemson 20. Last time they won here.
I believe Brad Brownell is telling Bert Smith right now, Dave O'Brien just said that was a ticky-tack technical foul. We should not have gotten that one.
He's right.
For aggressive technicals, to say the least.
Well said on your part. Roach with a pull-up from about 12 feet. Rebecca said when they win in the ACC, he's one guy. When they lose, oftentimes he doesn't score at all. On the drive, heavy traffic, and made the shot. Dylan Hunter off balance. Clemson trying to make it 4. Hunter not at the line very much this season. It showed there, but a second effort. Ball out to Girard. No.
The 4 losses.
Closing in on 2,000 career points. Pass over the shoulder intended for Shefflin.
And that's one you got to get it on the glass. Allow Shefflin to have the opportunity to put it back in.
Nothing but net by McCain. after effects have taken that shot to the solar plexus earlier. Here's Mitchell trying to make a move in close. Mark Mitchell, yes.
Included 20 points over his last 3 games and off to a great start here today.
Beadle finding the blue lane, flips it up there, and it's going to drop. He got the roll on it and took the hit too. All eyes on the 10.
And missing the free throw.
First gave up the dribble. Mitchell has been a hot hand. Foster back for Proctor's triple. Around and out.
And Tyrese Proctor knocking down the 3 with the basketball, probing in transition right now. Looking very comfortable. Myron, what did John Shire tell us about Proctor?
Oh, my. Oh, my. Made by the Blue Devils. Leading by 9. Filipowski. He's in the paint. The big fella leaning in. It almost went. It was in and out as he took the foul. Player of the year, preseason AP All-American as well.
Over the scouting report. And I mean, they were locked in. Task for the Tar Heels next week as they come into this building, which of course is always going to be a difficult place to play, especially in that rivalry.
Lining up a long one, Foster, yes. A triple. 30. These are two teams that did not turn it over very much at all. And Josh Beal held up.
When they're making shots.
Filipowski with his second foul.
Yeah, he was really good in a big win for Clemson.
And 40 to go here in the first half. The scoop shot won't drop for Beadle. Loose ball on the deck, kicked and saved by the Tigers. Tigers will swing it. Chase Hunter to the paint. Yes, sir.
Nice play. 8-point game. An opportunity for the Tigers to be able to get back in this and build some positive momentum going into the halftime locker room.
The reason Shire took that timeout. Wiggins short. Big collision as P.J. Hall went down hard in the lane and a whistle with 50 point for him. And we'll drop in numbers in time. Of course, the women's college basketball.
A one-possession game going into the halftime locker room, and now the Blue Devils with the opportunity to hold for the last shot.
This game's tighter than you might have thought. You know, just a few minutes ago, it looked like Duke was getting very comfortable. Not so much right now. Roach almost lost it. It's rejected right back in his face by Godfrey. That's how the first half comes to an end. Big.
Duke had 10 fast break points. They did do a good job of making it ugly. Clemson shot 29%, Clemson 38%. And then don't make Sports Center. There's still a lot of time for them to end up on the wrong side of the top.
Oh, but Clemson closed the first half on a 6-0 run.
Or with his second shot. 8th win of the season. That's Filipowski with the stuff. Clean block to trigger the break. Foster will give it up. So does Mitchell. Foster. Oh, that's a tough shot in traffic.
And Caleb Foster, known as a shooter, but does a great job attacking the rim. When you get ran up the three-point line, you've got to have something extra in your package. Caleb Foster showing he's got it.
Ball feeding Shefflin. No, and they whistle. And the opening
credit. He's also got 4 block shots in this game, so he has been aggressive.
Hear more from him in the second half. He had 7. They got stuck.
You can say that about a number of years that Brad Brownell has been on the sidelines for the Clemson Tigers.
You're right. Wiggins on the entry will hit 2. Take away for Duke. For them to find 5th gear and take off. As the opponent, you have to do everything you can to find that moment and keep it from happening. Here's Mitchell swatted away by Hall with a foul. And the foul will go against Josh Beadle.
Pound 62. Devin Booker 62. Last night, Luka Doncic. It's a bunch of guys, P.J. Hall, that want to be playing in that league sometime soon, especially when you see those type of numbers going up.
And the lane bullying his way in. Tough play by R.J. Godfrey, who comes in averaging 7 a game. He has 5 points so far today. 5-point lead for the Blue Devils and the ball. Foster drives it and draws the foul. He's not afraid because they haven't won here in so long in the last
laden team. So you've got a number of guys who have the experience of being here. BJ hauling at any time, but they can't waste time to make it happen.
Gerard with the kick to the corner, and it's going to be in and out. Wiggins got a really nice look. He's 38% out beyond the three-point line. And again, in traffic, Proctor will draw the foul. Gestures anyway. Proctor at the line.
Coors play some great defense down the stretch. And he also said because they're packing them.
One of the things that John Shire knows very well, Ian Shefflin is a guy that can pick up extra possessions on the offensive glass. So you have to know where he is at all times. And on cue, Shefflin comes up with the offensive rebound.
Gerard straight on. Yes, finally, a three-pointer. And they desperately need Joe Girard, number 11, to show up here in the second half.
But it comes off of, just as Myron was talking about, the glass. You got to take care of the glass. Shire knows that they can be better, and you always have to account for where Shefflin is.
Joe Girard 1 for 5. And a return by a high school player out of California. Out of Sacramento. Girard feeding up top. Underneath, Shefflin waited beautifully. Nice hesitation.
Raved about Ian Shefflin earlier today, talking about he is the key to their success.
Clemson sticking right with Duke here in the second half. McCain to the baseline. Scoops it up.
Jared McCain responding. Back-to-back buckets for him on this end of the floor. You talked about being the California Player of the Year. His family's actually moved from California to Durham to be able to be a part of each and every one of his games. Lance and Gina both in the stands here today.
Clark got a good look and absolutely buried a three. His first basket. That cuts it to a 4-point game.
Jack Clark, the veteran, stepping up and delivering when his team needs him the most.
And set the screen. Now back inside the paint. Off the fake. He's fouled. Shefflin with the push.
That first stretch that has allowed them to cut what was a 6-point halftime. Small thing. We see Filipowski as he's sitting there holding a field goal going in probably the last 20-plus minutes of playing time.
Girard giving it up for Godfrey. Godfrey on Filipowski. It rolls off the 10. Back right for Hall, and he will lay it in and take the hit. In middle of January, went for 31 and 17 against Roach. Proctor will back it up. Proctor trying to get loose on the fall away. Hit it!
Giving Duke a lot of credit for the way they've guarded Girard. We got to also give Clemson a lot of credit for the way they've bottled up Filipowski.
Hunter goes in strong after they stole the inbounds pass, and he draws the foul.
And how about picked up now that fourth foul? On the floor that can keep Ian Shefflin off the offensive glass. That's going to be the challenge for the Blue Devils with this smaller lineup.
Hunter with a miss at the line. They make 81% of their foul shots in ACC play, the Tigers do. Will it come down to that? Here's McCain, just into the game. A feathery touch for the triple. The former Syracuse star, very cold one. Roach got open, pulls it. The three won't drop.
Fortunate break for the Tigers. A little too tricky right there.
Yeah, but a dunk there by Shefflin. Nice save.
It almost cost them 2 points.
Filipowski on the bench for Duke with 4 fouls. McCain on Girard. Trying to weave his way inside closer. In traffic, it rolls home. Girard kicks for Hunter. The three. Shefflin, so tough on the offensive glass. Got it free to Girard. Here comes a triple. He knocks it in.
Ian Shefflin, possession game here at Cameron.
Joe Girard taken to the bench for a couple of moments, but he's hit a couple of shots in the second half. Wide open underneath, it's Godfrey. Filipowski on the bench. He's in foul trouble. Mitchell. A terrific first half. And a whistle before the shot.
As of late for the Blue Devils.
Good foul shooter too, 84%.
And wondering if, that ankle starting to bother him as he sat.
Proctor kicks outside. Foster, no. Young cradles it, has it stolen away. Taken away by the Tigers. Clark ripped it right out of his hand. Here's Girard, and fouled on it. In the act of attempting a three. Falls, New York drops in number 1 of 3.
Bunch of guys who shoot over 90% throughout the ACC. And now with that free throw, he's at 9 points.
So who do the Blue Devils turn to now at the 8-minute mark? Locked up at 54.
I believe it's got to be McCain.
McCain penetrates. Yes. And swings it back for Godfrey. Here's Hall way downtown. Yes! He drills the 3. Young handing off. McCain tied up in the lane. He was blocked out. Here's Proctor with a 3. Got it! Since halftime for the Clemson Tigers, he was a non-factor in the first half, but he's back in there again. He gets a touch here. He takes to the paint and a lay it in.
You always love to see what fits. He goes to Girard, who delivers with the easy layup.
So tied at 59.
And now you see Clemson going zone defensively, throwing a bit of a monkey wrench in the plans for the Blue Devils as they get Filipowski and Roach back on the floor.
Banging with Hall, and Hall will commit the foul. Took a shot to the nose too, but so Filipowski
tries to give the Blue Devils a lead back.
And missed the pair in a tie game. Under 5.5 left. Chase Hunter to the lane. Came free to Hall, and he knows exactly what to do with it. Right, Clemson by 2. Roach playing on a bad ankle, which he turned this week against Louisville. Slams on the brakes. Mitchell tried the window and draws the foul.
Thing that John Shire can look back at and say that his team did not do.
And this to try and retie, and he does that. Girard swings for Hall. Beadle. Here's Wiggins. And Hall over the top. He commits the foul. That's his 3rd.
But that was great ball movement.
Although they have had a bad day at the stripe.
95. I can remember it well because I was playing it.
Beadle underneath and a whistle. Tough sledding anything inside on the foul line. But makes number 1. Tigers next
teams with 3 losses, and the road team starting to have a lot of success in ACC.
Clock down to 3. The scoop shot won't go. The follow won't go by Mitchell. Clemson on a run out. And the scoop on this end will drop for Hunter and Clemson. 63. Filipowski off the fake. Banging into Hall again, and another whistle. And 7 feet, 250 pounds, which has not been a friend of the Duke Blue Devils, but it was here.
Some substitutions.
And going big here. And Shefflin. Back for Hall. Girard flips it up and hits 2.
Possession, playing with 4 fouls. Not sure that was a smart attempt for Flip. However, did not get penalized for it.
Now the Tigers trying to increase their lead. Under 2:20 to play. And a feed for Hall, denied by Young, who commits the foul. And hits number 1.
10 points and 10 rebounds for P.J. Hall, who is
today, or can they dig their way back to the lead and a victory? Here's Filipowski. Leaning in, he'll draw the foul and head off to the line again, hit by Shefflin, number 4. Second half. regardless of how this game finishes up.
Talked about his numbers and the losses. They wanted to limit his production, but they haven't been able to do it in the second half. Kyle Filipowski, for the second time, misses two, but great play by McCain coming up, getting the turnover.
Filipowski working hard, short. It has not been his day. Is it going to be Clemson's? Leading 69-65, and the basketball back for the Tigers. Shefflin looking inside, nothing there, and picked off. The steal by McCain. He goes in strong and lays it in. Here's Girard now, 1:19 to go. Clemson by 2. Girard won't shoot it. Shefflin bobbled it and gave it away. 1 minute to play. McCain. Step back. Here's the three. Rebound tipped by Filipowski. He went for the save and saved it back to Clemson. Clark. Hunter gives it up.
Smart play by Clemson. Don't force anything. Use as much shot clock as you can. I would expect to see the basketball in the hands of P.J. Hall right now. Mark Mitchell trying to defend him. That's a tough matchup for Mitchell.
8 to shoot it. Entry pass knocked away by Mitchell. A steal for Duke. 20 seconds to go. And a timeout with 19.2.
John Shai, Hunter, and Beadle out there, much bigger in stature than Girard.
Roach gets it in. Filipowski heading for the lane on the spin. Hit, made it! He hit the shot! And fouled as well! With 15.2 to go.
Regardless of the way the evening has gone for him thus far, still finds a way to go out and make a play for his team. Only his second field goal of the game, but it was a huge one for the Blue Devils as it ties the score at 69. An opportunity.
Struggled today. And he made it when he needed to, didn't he? Duke by 1. Clemson does have 2 timeouts remaining.
Get across half court, you call the timeout and get organized.
With 12.4 to go. And a timeout. Hunter. Hall working on Filipowski. And the lane. And draws the foul with 7.4 seconds.
That's what you want.
And he does. That's the second on the way. And the Tigers lead it. Which is going to inbound. No pressure on him. Here's Proctor. Proctor across midcourt. Proctor looking to get a shot in the air. Round the back. He fires it up there. Left it well short. There is a whistle. A foul on the play. With .4 on the clock.
But this is the reason why you want to go to the basket. You don't want to settle. And there's a lot of contact on there. That's a foul, OB. You look at the left arm of Beadle. It makes contact with the right arm of Tyrese Proctor as he's shooting the basketball. That's a good call. That's a foul. And Proctor now has the pressure on him to go.
Everybody holding their breath here. And he makes the pair. Duke leads 72-71. 1 second to go. Girard trying to get it in. Long pass, knocked around, and Duke cradles it, and they win the ball game. 72-71. The final today at Cameron Indoor. Tyrese Proctor goes to the line and drills 2 giant foul shots, and Duke pulls out the win and keeps the Tigers winless here at Cameron Indoor for the 21st consecutive game.
And the call will be talked about. It will be talked about, absolutely. And you see Brad Brownell trying to get his players to leave the officials alone. Brad Brownell had his words with the officials on the way out, trying to keep his players away from the officials. The calls will be talked about, OB. There was contact on all the calls at the